Let's have some fun. The creationist guy has suggested that I should continue with the I am train of thought, take it to its ultimate end. I've done this several times. I did it back when I was a teenager. That was when I first got really deeply into metaphysics. It has this thought process has helped me out a lot throughout my life, because ultimately, when I do follow it to its end, there really is only one conclusion that I've ever come to: that regardless of what reality there is, regardless of whether what I see around me is real or not, it is what I have to deal with. It is what I perceive. It is my perception of reality is the only thing that I have to go on. So I have to accept it as real. I have to, not because it necessarily is real, but because if it's real and I don't accept it as real, I can get myself into some real trouble here. So, I am. How do you prove anything outside of I am? I mean, I can say that all of you are out there listening to me, but really all I see is a camera in front of you. I see your comments. But how do I know? How do I really know that the comments are not just a product of my own imagination, my own fantasy, my own illusion, delusion, self-delusion, whatever you want to call it? That this is not all just a psychotic, that I'm not in a little rubber room, for example, imagining all of this, or possibly in a coma dreaming all of this. How do I know that? And there's the suggestion, of course, naturally, that if I had created this reality, if this was my reality, if this was a product of my own imagination, why would I suffer? Why would I experience pain? Why would I experience, why wouldn't I be rich, for example? If you are real, if all of y'all are real, I'm sure you would not argue that the nightmares that I had when I was a kid were a product of my own fears, my own thoughts, my own mind. They weren't real. I'm sure you would also agree that the monster that was under my bed, that when I turned off the light I would quickly run and jump into bed so my feet wouldn't get too close to it, that monster wasn't real. He wasn't really there. The coat hanging on the coat rack in the corner didn't turn into a monster and start walking towards me when the lights went out, for example. I'm sure you would agree that those things were not real, but that they were products of my mind. Who knows if this is all just an illusion? Who can really say what it's a product of, why I'm creating this illusion around me, what my motivation is? Maybe I have no idea that this is all an illusion, which I don't, if it is. If you were not real, I have no idea of that. So how would I be able to control, how would I know that I was able to control it? How would I be able to allow myself to control it? And of course, you also have the superstition thing, where if things are going really, really well, there is this tendency to wonder when things are going to go wrong. And of course, you're always going to have your good days and your bad days. So there's always a balance there. But the real question, though, would be then, if this is a product of my imagination, what would I base it on? Would I base it on, would it be completely fabricated? If I was the only mind in existence, what could I base it on? I would have to just create it, basically from nothing, honestly, from nothing. Everything would be created from nothing. It wouldn't be real, it wouldn't be tangible, physically tangible in my reality, whatever that reality is. But in my mind, it would have tangibility. It would be perceivable. It would be real. It would have a meaning to me. Would I have a meaning to it? Only if I thought it to, only if I needed it to, or if I required it to. Then I would have a meaning to it. Would there be conflicts if I had some inner need or some fear of conflict, or if my mind was just disconnected and it didn't even realize, because it has no it's non-corporeal, it has no physical body to relate things to relate the reality that it's existing, that it's created within itself to. In this respect, you could say that a God would be possible if it's just a mind that evolved out of timelessness, for example, out of the ripples in space. I mean, the mind is just ripples and electrical signals going across them. Anyway, our brains are set up like that. What if a mind, what if I am nothing but a mind that encompasses everything, but there isn't really an everything except within my own mind? And whatever reality my mind exists in, I don't even necessarily need to be aware of that reality. I could be completely non-connected. I may have no sensations at all of the reality that I physically exist in, if I physically exist in a reality. I may have zero connection to it, like a person in a coma, that whatever is going on in their mind, that's all they're experiencing. They have no connection to the outside world. Maybe, or if they did, they wouldn't be really aware that that's what was going on. If they maybe heard people talking around them, they may incorporate that into the reality that they've created, that they fabricated in their minds, but they wouldn't necessarily know that that's what was going on, that those voices they were hearing, or that perception they have of something beyond themselves, that was anything more than some supernatural thing, or their mind going in the reality that they believe they're in. But now here's a question, and I'm going to stop it at this. 7 minutes. Wow, 7 minutes. Oh, wait a minute. 2 minutes. Okay, what's this thing doing? Yeah, 7 minutes and 24 seconds. It's time to stop this. And then I'll pick it up later. I might continue this more later. But here's the question. I mean, I know naturally you're going to say, well, you have falsifiability at some point in our discussion, or in my videos on this, if it progresses the way I expect it to. At some point you're going to say, well, you would have to be able to falsify it. If you can't falsify it, if there's no way, if there's no kind of test that you can do to verify that it's not true, that it would not be true, then you cannot really say that it's true. Okay? How do you falsify I am? How do you prove that I am? And honestly, if I am, and I am the only thing that I can be certain of, regardless of any interactions I have with this reality that I think exists around me, how would I falsify I am if there is no certainty of the reality around me? Anyway, that's it. Have fun with that.